And I started calling because they weren't returning her. Later that night, approximately 12 hours later, they did return her. And they handed me another summons to appear the next morning before Judge Rex Barbas, a family court judge. When I got there with my in-laws in support, with Charmaine, who was so scared to go to the courthouse, I told her, don't worry, nothing's going to happen. Daddy will protect you. It's going to be fine. You're not going anywhere. They won't take you again. I promised her that. As I was talking to DCF workers and deputies in the lobby, I asked them, do you have a petition or what's going on here? They said, we don't have it yet, but it should be coming any minute. A few minutes later, they called the case into the courtroom, and Judge Rex Barbas took the bench and asked the prosecution if they had the allegations. They said yes, and they handed him a copy, and then handed me a copy. I objected that I didn't have a chance to read this. I need a few minutes. The judge says, you can read it after, Mr. St. Germain. And the Assistant Attorney General proceeded to read it into the record under oath. And in gist, this is what it said. Sherry St. Germain was driving a white Dodge van on Livingston Ave, veered off the road into a wooded area, and was found passed out behind the wheel, with the child in the back, screaming, hungry, and dirty. That's not what the police report says. That van tied me, suspected negligence, because I allowed her access to a vehicle. It also means I've done nothing previously to try to assist and protect my daughter. I had done everything I could. I collapsed on the floor of the courtroom. My in-laws had to carry me out of the courthouse. I'm an intelligent man with an 8th grade education. But I knew what was happening. I knew how to fight. And the fight was on. My in-laws suggested I get an attorney anyway. Because I'm too close. I did. I'm going to skip past the next year and a half of events because there's so many and there's so many other bad court orders. And everything is in the record. And just as a note, a year and a half into this, I filed in 2010, May, a federal lawsuit. And from that time forward, they were being served officially to U.S. Postal Service with a term receipt required. These are only a few for each one. I have approximately 37 of these going from 2010 to 2011. To end this story with another big, sick, unbelievable, outrageous conduct that on September 15th, 2011, without my knowing, without serving me, an assistant prosecutor named Ivy Rollins stepped into the hallway outside of Justice Espinosa's drug court, which is Sherry's case. And with the nature of the child, it's not public record. I have never been named in that case. At this time, I don't even have a case in Judge Rex Barbas' courtroom. That's been terminated. I'm not a party. I don't have a right. Being the father of a child, I have a vested interest in the outcomes of a third party called an amicus curiae. However, they used this to play. They told Marla Brune, regional counsel, which is a public defender type, could you please step in the courtroom as we have a father who is doing a lengthy prison term for armed robbery? And this is a simple case of statutory placement, permanent placement. Unknowingly, Marla Brune walked in and just stood silent, just to be present for the father who could not be. And they stole my child. I found out about this 5 days later when I called the judge's assistant and found out the case was closed because I was filing into the case. It's an amicus curiae because I do not have the entitlement to file into this case because I'm not a named party. But as an amicus interested third party, I can. I filed in to vacate that order, set it aside, as I am not in prison for armed robbery, nor was I ever. That motion was filed. Marla Brune, on her own without being subpoenaed, appeared in November, December, and January in 3 hearings. The judge delayed and delayed, and in January, He dismissed that motion without prejudice, told me to refile it again. The case is closed. I cannot appeal it because I never received any court order from any petition, and there are several in this case, from them. I don't even know what the orders say. I don't know what the petitions say. With the evidence of these, they've always known where I was. They actually served me every other month on the average for judicial reviews, which are nothing hearings, just to see if everybody's alive and well. But this is in Sherry's case. But I did appear at every one of those. In the clerk's docket shows that. But miraculously, every time there was a petition hearing in the middle, when there was one, and the order to be had, miraculously was not served and was not present. And they're not privy to anything that's in those petitions today. I've been trying to obtain those petitions, and I cannot. They will not give them to me. So I cannot appeal this. And you can't file an appeal unless you attach it to the appellate brief to show the order. And then I need the allegations to dispute those. I contend they maliciously withheld those to continue to railroad my child. Because they know from the beginning this was wrong. I'm not going to interject anymore. I want you to draw your own conclusions. I have all the facts. I have all the thousands of pages of the lawsuit and other information involved in their reactions during those times. And the clerk's record and the sheriff's office on the scene affidavit from the officer. Take the van out, and Dad is not connected. It's that simple. That's all I'm asking. Share this video. Go to Charmain's Nightmare Facebook page, which I will set up in the next 2 to 3 days. Help me get this into the media. She's not the only one. They did this to me because they did it before. You can't seek revenge and use a child to do it. Personal egos have nothing to do with the best interest of a child. I need your help. I know this was wrong. Please pray for my little girl and be her hero and bring her back home to the dad who's loved her and missed her and hasn't stopped a day since this began. And the promise I made to her that we will be together again. She has to have that. And she has to see this. And DCF and the Attorney General, Ivy Rollins, Lisa Baker from Hillsborough Kids, Inc., and the recent person that got involved with this case last week, Operations Manager Beth Pasek, who saw some of this outrage and was supposed to open this case, and she dumped me back in the lap of the people who did this in the immediate area. A company called HKI, Hillsborough Kids, Inc., now changed to Echo. I need your help to get this into the media, to get this out there and save some other child, because this happened before and it's happening now. My daughter needs to be a hero, so there's purpose in this. Thank you for your time, and please share.